Hi everybody, welcome. Thank you for being here, and as always, let's talk. By now most of you will know that Archbishop Justin Welby resigned a few days ago due to a sex abuse scandal of a few decades ago. Justin Welby resigned and admitted his failure to ensure proper investigation into the allegations of sex abuse by John Smyth, a barrister who abused at least 115 children and young men before his death. Now that Welby has resigned, there are calls for the Bishop of Lincoln, Stephen Conway, to resign as well. Conway was briefed about the abuse allegations against Smyth in 2013, more or less the same time as Welby. Now, just a very quick overview about John Jackson Smyth QC. So at least everyone knows who and what we are talking about. He was a Canadian-born British barrister actively involved in the ministry for children. He was the chairman of the Ivern Trust, which raised funds for and ran the conservative evangelical Ivern camps. He also acted as lawyer for Mary Whitehouse, a Christian morality campaigner. In 1982, the Trust was informed that Smyth performed sadistic beatings on schoolboys and young men associated with the camps and with another Christian group associated with Winchester College. Smyth moved to Zimbabwe in 1984, where he continued to run children's camps. The Marken Review identified 16 pupils who were abused and 6 to 8 who were groomed at or through his association with Winchester College. In 1984, he set up the Zambezi Ministries, which held summer camps for boys. In 1992, a 16-year-old guide, Nyachuru, drowned at the Marendera camp. Nyanchuru's naked body was found in the school swimming pool. Smyth even officiated at Nyanchuru's funeral. A 21-page report was circulated by lawyer David Coulthard, and Smyth was arrested in 1997. An investigation ruled homicide to be very unlikely, but revealed that Smyth had continued his abuse, so him and his family moved to South Africa. The Macon report will then later also find that Smyth continued the abuse of boys in Zimbabwe and likely also South Africa. Smyth and his wife first moved to Durban in South Africa's KwaZulu-Natal province, and then to Cape Town, where him and his wife lived a quite opulent lifestyle. In 2017, Channel 4 broadcasted allegations of abuse, and his church in Cape Town subsequently removed him and his wife Anne as leaders. And then the UK investigation finally took off. But before anything could be done, Smyth passed away in Cape Town in 2018. So quite rightly, if Welby and Conway did their due diligence and made sure that Smyth was arrested, a lot of boys would have been spared the trauma that they went through. But this was not Welby's first scandal or his first controversy, and not the only thing which put me personally off the man. Justin Welby was a former oil executive. He spent more or less 11 years before being ordained in 1992. He was made Archbishop in 2013. As we all know, Justin Welby presided over the Queen's funeral and then King Charles's coronation, and of course Justin Welby officiated at the marriage of Harry and Meghan. Will we ever forget that? So yes, Justin Welby was indeed pretty famous and also became part of England's history. But that is not all. Welby was popular with some, but others could not stand him. The main reason being that he had a propensity to get involved in the most controversial issues like same-sex marriages, Britain's immigration policy, Israel's war in Gaza, slavery, reparations, climate change issues, and then his own mental health issues. Justin Welby, or then the Archbishop Justin Welby, for instance, opposed the British Parliament's Rwanda resettlement plan and called it the opposite of the nature of God, and said the principle must withstand the judgment of God, and it doesn't. Well, how Welby got to that conclusion, only he knows, but it was indeed controversial, to say the least. Justin Welby also spoke out about Israel's war in Gaza. Justin Welby, as the Archbishop of Canterbury, the spiritual leader of the Anglican, or then the Worldwide Church of England, also gave his opinion on slavery reparation, and then went on to do more than give his opinion. Yes, indeed, Justin Welby first expressed his sorrow over the Church's historic ties to slavery. So as the head of the Church of England, Justin Welby steered the Church to establish £100 million investment fund to address the shameful wrongs of the past, and the fund will be used to invest in black-led businesses which focus on education, health and economic empowerment, and provide grants to address issues in communities affected by slavery. Now, I just want to remind you that slavery was abolished effectively on the 1st of August 1834, a good 190 years ago. 190 years. So as a woman of 61, that means it was abolished before my grandmother was born. Actually, I think it was even before my great-grandmother was born. So honestly, if there are still communities suffering as a result of slavery, you can rest assured its people are perpetual victims. And if it wasn't for slavery, then it would have been something else. But I guess the Church can do with their money what they want. It is just sad that such an amount of money should go to foreign lands when black, white, pink, brown in your own country are suffering due to the ineffectiveness of a semi-communist, I'm sorry, maybe not sorry, but what I should rather say is, a woke government. While someone like William is battling to get a roof over everyone's head, the Anglican or Church of England spends 100 million on communities in foreign countries who still, after 190 years, uses slavery to gain whatever they are gaining, whether money, housing, food, education, healthcare. It's all free because great-great-great-grandpa stole a sheep and was sold as a slave for his sins. It is truly time we all move on. Otherwise, I think I should perhaps claim reparations for my maternal great-grandma, who was thrown in a concentration camp as a young woman, which really hurt me because in our Afrikaans community, where I spoke Afrikaans with an English accent and English with an Afrikaans accent, and whose dad was from Scottish descent and mom from solid Boer stock, known as the Hans Kaki, a traitor to the Afrikaner nation. So yes, my dears, why don't I go claim reparations from the Church of England? After all, my grandfather's siblings all landed in an orphanage due to the after effect of the war. Okay, now not the war itself, because as a carpenter and as a Scottish man, my great-grandfather worked for the British Army, something I was still held accountable for years and years later, even before I got to know the history. So my Afrikaans half suffered, as did my English half. But from my grandfather, John Grant, pride was instilled in us, and a good work ethic as well. And that work ethic became our pride, and therefore we were taught to honor and appreciate the good which came after the war, the progress, the freedom, and all other blessings like roads, universities, education in the language of our choice, and so much more. So I'm asking for nothing. But if the Archbishop is so eager to dish it out, he is welcome to send some money my way. Now, shall we talk climate change? Oh dear, Justin Welby had lots to say about that too. In a piece he wrote, he said the following: God is green, and he calls on us to be green. It is vital that we tread carefully and respond to the urgency of climate emergency and curb the effects of the climate crisis. It dismays me, he said, when I hear Christians disputing scientific facts or saying that it's simply God's problem. That is to misunderstand the awesome responsibility that God entrusted us with in caring for his planet and its people. It is a moral imperative to do as much as we can not to destroy the green world that God created for us. And we must act now before it is too late. His narrative gets even more dramatic as he carries on, but honestly, I don't have the time or the patience for the ramblings of a woke nutter. Take care of your environment. I mean, that's true, because it is a beautiful gift, whether you think climate change is real or not. Let life live. So stop throwing rubbish in our rivers and oceans and forget about climate change. Humans can survive in temperatures up to and over 50 degrees Celsius. I know that because I personally experienced it. And then Archbishop Welby spoke about his own mental health. Overall and in general, I have empathy for anyone suffering from depression. And in Justin Welby's narrative, I find a lot of things that I recognize. I think I mentioned this before. Someone once said to me that she recognizes stress, but depression is just a buzzword and does not exist. I also had someone telling me I must just pray to God and he'll lift my burden. Well, suffice it to say, it did not quite work until I deteriorated to a point where sleep was my only escape from the black dog, until the day, and I mean the first time, I was prescribed an antidepressant and a good dose of therapy. And guess from whom I got that therapy? A chaplain in the military who was also a qualified psychiatrist. However, in Justin Welby's narrative and in his speech to the Church of Ireland's Mind Matters conference in October 2023, Archbishop Welby reckons that technology, globalization, and multiculturalism make life richer. Okay, ex-Archbishop, if you say so. From what I can see, globalization and multiculturalism is not really working out, is it? Okay, guys, I'm going to leave this right here for now. When I come back, I'll talk more about other controversies and Justin Welby's relationship with the royal family, including Harry and Meghan and his position in the House of Lords, where he is supposedly to provide spiritual and moral guidance, but instead, in my opinion, got far more involved in politics, to the point where, again in my opinion, he put politics above religion. Now I'm going to say goodbye, so please take care of yourselves. Until next time, bye.